says he's never got drunk or high, and now Gene Simmons is pitching medical marijuana. This is how rock fans know him best, as the bass player of Kit for Kiss, the owner of the most iconic tongue in rock music history, and that's only one side. How does the business community know him? A man who has no shame in selling rock and roll to you, a Lifetime Achievement Award from Forbes, and his salesmanship is legendary. Water to the Eskimos. There's the Vault Experience, which is a super limited edition box set, hand-delivered to you by Gene himself for the price of $2,000. And we believe that Kiss are the only band currently selling an official inflatable stand-up paddleboard. Absolutely. $1,200 will buy you that. Oh, don't forget the Moneybag soda range and the Rock and Brews restaurant chain. You start to get the idea that one questions, what will he sell next? The cannabis company Invictus was so impressed, they appointed him the Chief Evangelist Officer. Gene joins me now. Gene, I start off with apologies that you're in New York and I'm not. Blame the royal wedding, Gene.
Oh, I think it's wonderful. The royal wedding, how cool. Harry is a rock star. This guy should be playing in a band. What a great thing for the world. Everywhere around the world, that's all anybody's talking about.
Well, it was an amazing event. You should have been there. Now, look, why cannabis and why Canada? Bearing in mind the controversial nature of the product. And I noticed from Invictus's publicity on its website, it is both medical and recreational, but the law isn't there yet.
The beginning of the answer is that both Israel and Canada are way ahead in terms of legislation to America. I initially got involved with Invictus-MD.com, I have to say that, for a financial reason, because I love my $10 million worth of stock within the company, because I'm bullish on Invictus. I think it's going up. They also paid me $2.5 million. However, as an aside, I've been dismissive about cannabis as a whole. I threw out the baby with the bathwater. I'm a straight guy. Never rolled anything, never did that, never smoked or got, nothing. Never been drunk in my life. However, research has shown me, and I urge everybody else to do their own research, you can have a little girl shaking from, epilepsy, and you rub cannabis-based products, and miraculously almost, it looks like she's cured.
So, are you saying that you are in favor of medical marijuana, but would you draw the line at recreational marijuana?
I would not, but I urge all politicians to become more well-informed, because it doesn't matter whether you get elected or not. Let's do something for the good of the people. So let research determine how politicians are going to vote. So a very simple idea is, cigarettes are legal. They may give you cancer. Everybody knows that. But cannabis-based products are not. You're killing me. You might get the munchies. You might reach over for, a Doritos. By the way, I have never smoked any cannabis or used any cannabis.
So should you? Now, hang on a second. If you are going to proselytize, and if you are going to say, well, let's get on with this thing, should you not sample the product of the company?
Not necessarily. That's a personal life choice. All I'm saying is, in the menu of life, you should be able to pick what you want out of life that's legal. You can drink, you can smoke cigarettes, which are not necessarily the healthiest, but I'm learning more and more about cannabis, and so should everybody else, including the legislators, to find out whether it's good or bad and pass laws based on information. Do I want to use it? It'll be my personal choice. But if I found out from the doctors that my child was sick and the diagnosis is use cannabis-based products, of course I would use cannabis-based products.
You're an amazing man in the sense that immediately in this interview, you declared your interest. You did the transparency of declaring your financial interest. And that's one of the things about you in business, in your entrepreneurship. You're pretty much a straight-up guy, aren't you, when it comes to integrity? Never mind the rock and roll image. The reality of Gene Simmons that I know is that your word is your bond, and you'll keep your word.
But, Richard, in terms of business ethics and morality, which are strange bedfellows, I understand that. There's something called full disclosure before the fact. When I sit here in front of you with my long tongue and my funny hair and all this, and America's #1 gold record award-winning group of all time, say what you mean and mean what you say. I believe I'm bullish on Invictus as a company. That's what I believe in.
Right.
Now, in terms of legislation, I urge everybody, including CNN, to do the full research. Let legislation follow the advice of research. Let's all be smart about it instead of being trapped 100 years ago.
Is there a business you wouldn't do? Is there something you would not? I mean, you've got a book coming out, you've got the box set, you've got the restaurants, you've got all these things which are extremely lucrative. But have you ever found something where you've drawn the line, Gene, and you've just said, nah, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole?
Well, the tobacco companies have approached me, and I said no. There are certain things, look, intrinsically, invariably, and other big words like gymnasium, unless and if my heart... Unless my heart connects emotionally and brain and heart, unless it connects with the messaging and the idea, I stay away. Because you can't have somebody sit in front of you, especially you, talk to the masses and say, this is what I believe in, if you don't. So yes.
Are you going, I want to end on this. I've got to grab something out of you. Are you going on a monstrous 150-city world tour? Is this on the horizon?
You mean KISS?
Yes.
Why, yes, indeed, Richard. How did you know that? Yes, we're going to go around the world. We've been around 45 years, and boy, do I look good. Yes, ladies, it's all my hair. Yeah, oh, there I am. Good-looking son of a bee. Look at that guy.
So I will be able to catch up with you in some exotic locations.
You're saying you want backstage passes, Richard, right?
No, I'll pay, you know me, I'll pay.
Now I like you.
I didn't say I'd pay top dollar.
Well, I'll make sure you do. But in all seriousness, before I get off the air, you got to understand, people should understand politicians are there for their self-mandate, which is to get reelected. It's not necessarily what's good for people. Please, folks, vote for people who espouse your beliefs about what's good for your family. But let's all get more informed. I was wrong about the past, so I'm the first one to say it.
Gene, good to see you, sir. Apologies again that I'm not with you in New York. Blame Prince with the new Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Good to see you, sir. That's Gene Simmons. We'll have a profitable moment after the break.